You think your focus is broken. It isn't. You are just terrified of boredom. You sit down to finally do the work. The silence immediately feels heavy, almost suffocating. You reach for a screen, just for a second, just to ease that creeping tension. And that single choice ruins everything. Because every time you escape the quiet, your mind fractures a little more, leaving you exhausted but entirely empty. Halfway across the world, Elias was sitting in the middle of Concourse B, living inside that exact fracture. Elias was surrounded by the relentless roaring hum of Concourse B. It was a cathedral of manufactured urgency. Thousands of people rushed past him in blurred streams. Garbled overhead announcements bled into the metallic clatter of rolling suitcases. And the harsh, synthetic glare of departure screens flickered endlessly. But the overwhelming chaos of the terminal was merely a reflection of the frantic, fragmented state of his own mind. Before him, on a small, unsteady cafe table, sat his open laptop. On the screen was a dense, complex architectural blueprint he needed to review, a final project that could save his failing career. It required genuine, unbroken thought. It required the very thing he had systematically destroyed over the last 5 years. His attention. Elias stared at the first paragraph of the brief. He read the same sentence 3 times, but the words refused to anchor in his mind. They were just shapes on a screen. Immediately, a heavy, agonizing friction began to build behind his eyes. His brain, conditioned to receive a new jolt of entertainment every 10 seconds, was suddenly plunged into the quiet, demanding void of deep work. It began to panic. The boredom felt like physical starvation, a desperate clawing itch inside his skull, demanding a quick hit of cheap dopamine to soothe the tension. "Just check your messages," his mind whispered, perfectly rationalizing the escape. "Clear the notifications first, so your mind is empty. Then you can focus." Elias knew it was a trap. He knew exactly what would happen. Yet, the deep psychological discomfort of sitting with the unmoving text was too excruciating to endure. He yielded. His hand drifted to his phone, sliding it across the table like a life raft. He unlocked the screen. In an instant, the painful friction of focus vanished, replaced by the warm, numbing glow of an endless feed. The airport around him faded away. For 45 minutes, Elias sat paralyzed, his thumb swiping mechanically through a stream of disconnected, meaningless, short-form videos. He wasn't learning. He wasn't even enjoying it. He was merely anesthetizing himself against the heavy pain of effort. When the boarding announcement for a nearby gate finally shattered his trance, he locked the screen. The immediate aftermath was devastating. The hollow shame hit him like a physical weight in his chest. His mind felt bruised, foggy, and completely drained of energy, despite having done no actual work. He looked back at the open document. The mental resistance was now 10 times stronger than before. The urge to simply close the laptop, walk away to a noisy concourse bar, and abandon the project entirely was overwhelmingly seductive. The path of comfort was right there, offering him a permanent escape from the agonizing burden of trying. He sat on the absolute edge of surrender. Elias closed the laptop. The sharp click of the plastic was a definitive sound of defeat. He gathered his coat, preparing to walk away, to sink into the comfortable oblivion of a crowded concourse bar. But as he stood, he looked up at the massive, glowing departure board towering over the center of the terminal. Row after row, the amber text flipped relentlessly from boarding to departed. Suddenly, a man sprinted past his table, his face pale with sheer, unadulterated panic, desperately chasing a flight that was already gone. Elias froze. In that breathless, frantic stranger, he saw a horrifying mirror of his own reality. He wasn't just avoiding an uncomfortable task. He was actively choosing to stand still while his own future departed without him. The realization hit him with a cold, heavy clarity. The temporary pain of focusing right now was intense, but the permanent, hollow agony of watching his life slip away because he couldn't sit with his own thoughts would be unbearable. Slowly, deliberately, Elias sat back down. He did not reach for his phone. Instead, he powered the device off completely, the screen going black, and shoved it to the very bottom of his bag. He opened the laptop. The immediate reaction from his brain was violent resistance. The blankness of the document felt deafening. His nervous system, starved of its digital pacifier, practically screamed for an exit. He could physically feel the anxiety spiking in his chest, an overwhelming clawing urge to stand back up, to pace, to look anywhere else. This was the exact wall of psychological discomfort where he always quit. But this time, Elias didn't try to forcefully block out the noise of the airport, nor did he try to magically summon a state of flow. He simply gripped the edge of the small aluminum table, knuckles white, and chose to endure the suffering. He explicitly accepted the agonizing boredom. For 12 excruciating minutes, he stared at the exact same structural schematic without absorbing a single detail. The rolling suitcases and garbled announcements battered against him. Every second felt like a physical weight pressing against his skull. The urge to escape was a suffocating pressure, but he kept his eyes locked on the screen. He let the discomfort burn through him, refusing to abandon his post. And then, right around the 15th minute, the miraculous shift occurred. The suffocating friction began to break. The chaotic roar of Concourse B slowly dissolved into a dull, distant static. The rigid, confusing lines of the architectural blueprint suddenly snapped into focus, connecting in his mind, revealing the intricate structural flaw he had been hired to fix. The frantic, desperate noise inside his head finally quieted, replaced by the deep, steady, powerful rhythm of genuine concentration. By choosing to walk straight into the fire of boredom, he had finally pushed through to the other side. Elias didn't discover a secret productivity hack in that terminal, nor did he suddenly become immune to the noise of the world. He simply stopped running from the quiet of his own mind. You spend so much time searching for the perfect app, the perfect routine, or the perfect environment to finally unlock your focus. But your inability to concentrate is not a flaw in your intelligence, and it is not a problem that can be optimized away. It is simply an atrophy of your tolerance for boredom. Focus is not a fortress you build to keep the chaotic world out. It is the quiet, agonizing discipline of standing completely still when every nerve in your body is screaming at you to run toward comfort. That heavy, suffocating friction you feel the moment you sit down to work, that is not a sign that you are failing. That is the exact sensation of your fractured attention span, painfully repairing itself. You must let it hurt. You must let the boredom burn through the cheap dopamine you have been feeding it. The next time you sit down to do the work that matters, and that crawling, desperate need to escape washes over you, do not reach for the screen. Sit in the fire. If you recognized a piece of your own fractured mind in Elias's struggle today, subscribe to keep building your quiet discipline with us. Drop a comment below and tell me about the specific, heavy distraction you are finally choosing to leave behind.